Hello, I am James Krillman, and live from Mexico City. Welcome everyone to today's premiere of Who's the Best Leader? Today's leaders are from Mexico during the military phase of their revolution. Before we begin, let me explain how the show works. I will ask the leaders of this phase questions about their leadership, and the crowd will give thumbs up or thumbs down based on whether they want them to continue with their leadership or for them to be replaced. Our first leader today is going to be President Porfirio Diaz.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, what makes you a good leader for the Mexican people?
You see, after 66 years of bloodshed spawned from our victory against the Spanish Empire, I have risen to power in Mexico and ushered in stability and peace. After we achieved independence, war ravaged Mexico as dozens of presidents failed to provide for the people, but I, Porfirio Diaz, have done what they could not.
Now, how do you plan to solve the social, economic, and political problems that are plaguing Mexico?
I have taken land from the peasants in order to create haciendas. These will increase Mexican production and provide food for our people, as well as jumpstart our ascension into competition with the world powers. I also plan to allow foreign investment from America and Great Britain in railroads, telegraphs, and the oil industry in order to improve the Mexican infrastructure. There will be political elections that the people can vote in and a police force protecting the people and the interests of the state.
And how much longer do you plan on staying in power?
I have achieved what I wanted. Mexico is improving, and while we have faced hard times with the depressions and unnecessary upsets by radical groups, I believe in the democratic system to make the right decision, and with the consent of the Mexican people, I will continue to improve our country.
Well, that's a big step for Mexico. Audience, how do you vote?
Thank you for all the love and support. I look forward to the future of Mexico.
Hold up. You've been in power for way too long and have no plans of stepping down. I'm the better choice for Mexico.
It appears that there's a challenger. If you don't mind, I would like to ask you a few questions. Diaz, if you could please allow him to sit down.
Whatever helps for a better future for Mexico.
So what makes you a better leader for the Mexican people?
Unlike Diaz, I support the common people of Mexico. His regime has abused the people of Mexico, and Diaz himself has allied with the elite rather than our citizens. I'm the leader that Mexico needs and deserves.
And how do you plan on resolving the social, economic, and political problems plaguing Mexico?
I may, sorta, and possibly thinking about giving the land back to the people. I also want to remove American interests in Mexico so that our workers can receive fair wages.
And do you have a plan of action regarding this transition of power?
I do have a plan. It is the plan of San Luis Potosi, which I wrote when Diaz put me and 5,000 others who opposed his political regime in jail. This plan calls for others to resist Diaz's tyrannical rule and put me in charge as a provisional president until formal elections can be held, because the elections of 1910 should be considered null and void.
Alright folks, let's hear it once again for Diaz. And who wants to see Madero as your new leader?
Yeah!
Thank you all for your support through this transition period. I promise a brighter future for our wonderful country, and will do everything in my power to improve this country.
Alright, now do we have any challengers for our new leader? Yes, you there in the front. Here, take my mic.
Thank you. My name is Emiliano Zapata, and I fight for the peasants. I was originally a huge supporter of Madero's plan, but I am worried that he is yet to enact his land reform. That is exactly what I thought. You have no plans for land reform, you fraud.
You talk about land reform. Do you have any specific plans to give back the land to the peasants?
Yes, I do. I have a specific plan called the Plan de Ayala that outlines exactly what I want to do in order to give the land back to the peasants. Any land owned by foreigners will be seized, and all the lands will be taken from villages that originally will be returned back to its rightful owner. The haciendas that accept this will lose only a third of their land. Any hacienda that resists will lose all of its lands. Additionally, I would like to restore the ejidos or communal land so that we can create more job opportunities and increase production throughout Mexico.
Now that's a bold plan. How do you plan on retaking this land?
I will lead an armed revolution against the haciendas and take all the land back by force.
Now, before we continue, can the crowd show us the current support for Madero?
Boo!
Alright, now would anybody else like to speak about the current leader?
It's over, Madero. You've ignored the U.S. for far too long. It's time for your rule to end.
Okay, I'll leave.
He's trying to flee! Secret police!
Well, that's unfortunate for him. Oh, moving on, we have our next contestant, Victoriano Huerta. So, Huerta, what makes you think that you'll be a good leader for Mexico?
I believe that I can bring peace and stability to Mexico by restoring key values of the Diaz regime. These past few leaders have strayed from the effective and successful aspects of the Diaz presidency. By pleasing the aristocracy, who control the majority of the land, we'll be able to achieve our intended goal. I do, however, plan on continuing the labor policies created by Madero, as I believe they will help Mexico as a country.
And now we have some breaking news. The two major revolutionary armies, who are led by Villa, Carranza, and Obregón, are approaching Mexico City to discuss important matters with Huerta.
That's funny.
So next on the show, we have Carranza here to tell us about his plan to rule Mexico.
I would like to implement my Plan de Guadalupe. This will help the people of Mexico to receive more rights and protect them from the elite. I also want to establish a constitution that will ensure the rights of the peasants and improve the quality of life in Mexico and the violence. What just happened? These people created a radical constitution and have ruined my plan.
I'm the lawful. Make this gringo stop talking. You're not one of the press, you one of the DSs. We all gawking when looking at your plan. Stick to Kalula and losing your whole army. Not a fan of your plan. You ain't sending your ground. Get wins or cooking a man when he's down. Like IBB, I'm the favorite if he chokes. As far as the pot goes, I'll just wait till he's a ghost. Ain't no telling how foolish you'll be looking. Next rebel can't contain this ass whooping. Right when we realize the revolution's over, that'll be your cue to steal all the gold. So as you as a fraud, I'll be blowing you up. Who said you were prez? I know it wasn't us. I've been here 7 years and you know I'm showing up. For a man of many plans, I think he done enough. But the only way to make you hush, first I'll gather your land, then give it out. I'm gonna put you in your place, kid, you a disgrace. Get good quick, like my army hit you in the face. After all this, you'll be watching your back. You know, telling who be calling you out. Max Red was down, and you better come correct until your farmland show your enemies some respect.
Breaking news for you folks at home, Carranza has been seen escaping by train with the national gold supply.
Carranza betrayed the most basic ideas and beliefs he stood for. This era of violence and instability will end today. I will take power and establish a government that works for the people of Mexico and bring peace.
So this episode's winner is Obregón. We will highlight the leaders of the reform phase of Mexico, starting with Obregón on May 8th. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for our guests and the audience for coming, and thank you to our viewers for tuning in. We will see you next week on Who's the Best Leader, focusing on the leaders of the Russian Revolution.
Few leaders have strayed from the effective and success.
Okay, not yet.
I can't read what's next. You there in the front.
You can't just like.
You pointed the gun at him. And improve the life equality.
The quality of life. I want it.
And Diaz
I
himself
want
has
it
entered
now.
the needs of our citizens. No plans for land reform, you fraud.